All right, so we've talked about standard form before. One of the things that we just want to review is it looks like this, right? AX plus BY equals C. You guys remember that, right? What do you remember about the A term in standard form? Has to be what? Positive, right? Okay. What else do you guys remember about the numbers in standard form? Yeah, no fractions, right? Are decimals allowed? No, no decimals, right? Okay. So today we're going to work with some equations in standard form, doing some different things with these equations, okay? One of the first things we're going to do is we're going to practice, and you guys are pretty good at this already, finding the x and y intercepts from standard form. But then we're going to take those x and y intercepts that we get, we're going to use them to help us find the slope of the line, okay? So here's your first example. We're going to find the x-intercept, y-intercept, and slope of the line. Okay? So here's your line. Okay? 2x minus 3y equals 12. Now, I think most of you guys probably remember how to find the x-intercept. Remember this cover-up method where we cover the opposite variable? We write down what we get and then we solve. So what do we get when we cover the opposite variable? What will we write down? Yeah, 2x equals 12. Okay? And so what do we get when we solve that for x? 6. Okay? All right, now, what about when we want to find the y-intercept? What are we going to do?
0.
Negative 3y equals 12.
Yeah, so we would do negative 3y equals 12, right? Okay, now don't forget that was a negative 3y, right? So we have to divide by a negative 3 on each side. So what kind of y do we get for our answer? Yeah, negative 4. Okay, now there's a couple different ways that we can go about finding the slope, okay? We can find the slope by drawing a graph and then counting. Okay, you guys know how to find the slope between 2 points by counting the rise and the run, right? Okay, or we can write these points as ordered pairs, and then we can plug them into the slope formula, okay? So I'm going to show you both methods, all right? And I'm going to show you that whichever method we use, it produces the same answer, okay? So the first method is by graphing. So everyone go ahead and draw a graph. Do a good job, make your spaces even. Okay, so here's your x-axis and here's your y-axis, right? Okay, so where is the x-intercept going? 6. So let's go on to our x-axis and find where positive 6 is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? Okay, now where is your y-intercept? So let's find that on the y-axis. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Now, we can then go ahead and connect these points, right? And once we get our line graphed on here, we can go ahead and count our rise over run, right? So what's your rise? How much are you going up here? 1, 2, 3, 4 is your rise. What's your run? 6, right? So what was our slope here? Rise was 4, run was what? 6. So now what does that reduce to? 2/3, right? So I've just found my slope. So I've done all the parts now. I found the x-intercept, found the y-intercept, found the slope, right? Now remember, I told you there's another way to find the slope without graphing. Okay, so I'm going to show you that second option, all right? So the second option in finding your slope is using the slope formula. So you guys remember the slope formula, right? y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay, now, in order to use this formula, we have to have two ordered pairs, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write my intercepts as an ordered pair, okay? Now, remember, when I solve for x, this 6, this is my x value. This would go first in the ordered pair. Now, a lot of students want to write this number for their second number in their ordered pair, which is incorrect, okay? So, you have to think, what did I do to find this x value? We covered up y, and we made y 0, didn't we? Wasn't that the reason we got to cover it up? Because 0 times negative 3 made 0. That's why we cover it up, right? So my y value, because I covered it up, was 0. Remember, when I make this y go away, it's because I'm really substituting 0 in the value there, okay? So here's my ordered pair for my x-intercept. It's 6, 0. If you don't believe me, look at our graph. What is this ordered pair? 6, 0, right? Okay, now, why was I able to cover up the x? What am I really doing when I'm covering up the x here? I'm making this 0, right? So when I have this y value, what was my x value? It was nothing. That's why I covered it up, right? So for this point, it's 0, negative 4. Okay? Now, once I've written these 2 points, now do I have an x1 and a y1 and an x2 and a y2 to plug in to my slope formula? Okay, so I want everyone right now to plug in those points into your slope formula. Plug in these 2 points that we just wrote down in here and see what we get. Okay, so let's take a look and check what we get. Okay, what is y2? Negative 4 minus, what is y1? 0 over, what is x2? 0 minus, what is x1? 6. Okay, so what's negative 4 minus 0? Negative 4. What's 0 minus 6? Negative 6. What does this reduce to? Yeah, what kind of 2/3? Well, what's a negative divided by a negative? So positive 2/3, right? Do I end up getting the same slope that I got here? Okay. Now, which method do you guys like better? Do you like drawing a graph and graphing it to find the slope and counting? Or do you like writing the ordered pairs and then using the slope formula? Who likes graphing better? Okay. Who likes slope formula better? Okay. Tonight on the homework, I don't care which way you do it. Okay. Because both ways work and they both will produce a correct result, right? Does that make sense? Okay. All right. Okay. The second skill we're going to go over is writing equations that are not into standard form, okay? So, let's say, for example, we want to take this equation and we want to write the equation in standard form. Okay, so here's our equation. And this is like, remember, this is a review of stuff that we kind of did already, this part, right? So what's wrong with the equation? Why is it not in standard form? Fraction, that's the first thing. What else?
There's a 5, -5.
Okay, someone's saying the -5 is on the wrong side, yeah? Okay, so you guys want to get rid of the fraction first, or you want to move the 5 first? Fraction, okay. So to get rid of the fraction, I'm going to multiply the whole equation by the denominator. What's the denominator? 2, okay? So I have to multiply 2 by this thing, by this thing, and by this thing. Everything has to get multiplied by 2. All the parts, okay? So what happens when I multiply here by 2?
1.
Yeah, 1x, right? Do you guys want me to write 1x, or do you want me to just write x? You want 1x or just x? Just x? Okay. All right, so just x. Okay, what happens for 2 times 4y? 8y. Okay, what happens for 2 times -5? -10. Okay. What happens for 2 times 0? Okay. All right, so since we now got rid of that fraction, what's still wrong with this equation? Why is it not in standard form? The -10. Okay, so what am I going to do to move this over?
Addition.
Yeah, opposite. Add it, right? So everyone go ahead and add 10 to both sides. Okay, and so we get x plus 8y equals 10. Okay, so this is now written in perfect standard form, right? There are no fractions. This number here, which is really 1, is positive, right? And the x and y are together over here in the right order. The constant, which is the regular number, is on the right side. Okay? Does that make sense? Okay. We're going to do one more example of this. I need to turn my page. Are you guys ready for me to turn my page, or are you still writing? Ready? All right. So if you're ready, go ahead and flip your page and find a spot for example 3. All right. Okay, so here's example 3. We're going to write this equation into standard form. Okay, so take a look at this equation. What form is this equation written in right now? Yeah, point slope. That's what you guys just learned about on Tuesday, right? Okay, so if we want to write this in standard form, there's a whole bunch of things wrong with this, right? The x is on the wrong side, the y is on the right side, but there's a number here which shouldn't be there, and there's all these parentheses and stuff, which we don't have any parentheses in standard form, right? So what can we do now to first help us get rid of some of these things that shouldn't be there? Okay, what do you think?
Multiply 2 times the x and 2.
Okay, so let's multiply the 2 times the x and the 2 times the 2. Let's apply distributive property to get rid of the parentheses, because we don't have parentheses in standard form, right? Okay, so we get y minus 2 equals 2x plus 4. Okay, so now, what's still wrong with this? Why is this not in correct standard form? Okay, so I hear people telling me that 2x is on the wrong side. Okay, so let's move it to the other side. Okay, so to move it to the other side, what am I going to do with it? Okay. Now, I hear people telling me subtract, but I also hear people telling me divide. Okay, if I divide this by itself, then I have to divide the whole other side by 2x, and then I would get 2x in the denominator. Is that what I want? No, okay? I would want to subtract this thing, okay? And then over here, I want to subtract 2x over here, okay? All right, now, when I go to rewrite this side, which one am I going to write first? Well, what comes first in standard form, x or y? X. So let's write negative 2x first, and then this was a positive y, and unfortunately, I still have that negative or minus 2 right there, right? Okay, this side, all I have left is 4. Okay, so what do I need to do still? Add 2, okay. So let's do that step. Okay, so negative 2x plus y now equals 6. So it's looking closer. Is it all the way done though?
No.
What's wrong with it?
Negative.
The negative. Now, when I graded your last test, what I noticed was a lot of you guys did change this one, but you forgot to do it to all the parts. Okay? So remember, if you divide by a negative to one part, you've got to do it to all the parts, okay? So now what we have here is our final answer, 2x minus y equals what kind of 6?
Negative 6.
Negative 6, okay? And this would be our answer in perfect standard form. Okay. Any questions on that? Okay.